Hello everyone. Today I'm at Sarah Beth's house with my friends Sarah Beth, Kaylee, and Kelly, and Kelly's dog Chevy. Um, but yeah, so I had two questions for this week, and they're actually really deep. So I'm super excited to get to share with y'all what my answers are to these. So the first one is, what do you see as your own personal vision for your life? So this question actually makes me laugh because I feel like the Lord asks me this question in a very sarcastic way, as if I know what I'm doing. He's like, "So Ashley, what are your plans?" Because I make all sorts of plans. So I'm gonna phrase this really broadly, because I don't want to go into like super specifics, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But the two things that I'm walking towards right now in full force and I'm super excited about are nursing and full-time ministry, because I believe that's where the Lord's directed my life. But I know that those things can change at any minute. Uh, so where, what field, when, I have absolutely no clue. I have stirrings in my heart and I have my own ideas and thoughts about what that may look like. But I believe the Lord will lead when He sees fit and in His timing. So right now, I'm assuming that I'm going to be overseas or at least working nonprofit as a nurse, but I really have no idea. So if you want more details, I really would be happy to share my testimony and personal revelations I've gotten that have led me to where I'm at. There are some possible first steps towards ministries that I could be taking within the next year if the Lord opens those doors, and I'm very excited about that. But if you want to hear more about that, please reach out, because I'm really happy to be vulnerable over the live stream. But I think this is a conversation I'd be more comfortable having one-on-one, but with anyone, so feel free to reach out. So the next one. All right. Do you think God really answers prayer? So this is a very loaded question, but funny enough, I actually heard a quote in the Sister Act, but I believe that it rings true. The Lord's already answered your prayer, you just don't like the answer. I believe that the Lord hears all prayers, but we get in our mind what that's supposed to look like. So we'll often say, He's not answering my prayer, or He doesn't hear me, because we have this own idea of what that's supposed to look like. We have our own timetable. We have this own perfect plan of what an answered prayer looks like. And a verse that I often quote is Psalm 37:4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. A lot of people will take this verse and run with it. The Lord will give you the desires of my heart. I can do whatever I want. But they take the first part away. And so I actually had a really cool revelation while teaching preschoolers, believe it or not. But my perspective was completely changed. So taking delight in the Lord. So who was known as a man after God's own heart? David. Who wrote Psalm 37? David. Who beat Goliath? David. Did he ask for the Lord's permission before he defeated Goliath? Was he like, hey, should I fight this super tall giant who is telling me that my God isn't real? He didn't have to ask that. He just knew. And so why not? Because his heart matched God's heart. And that's what we teach our preschoolers, is that David's heart matched the Lord's. His desires were God's desires, which is why he was able to step forward in fighting off Goliath. And when our heart matches God's heart, our desires match His. So we begin to pray His will, even though we think it's our own desires, in the sense of, Lord, I want to serve You. I want to go overseas. Rather than, being scared, I have this desire to serve the Lord that I'm seeking Him in it. And through that, I've been given a desire to go overseas. And so I'm praying, Lord, give me opportunities, give me chances to step into full-time ministry. And that's the Lord's desire. And so He's happy to open those doors. And so He delights to give us these desires when they match His, because He's a good Father and He works all things together for our good. Romans 8:28. But yeah, so those are my two questions. If you have any more, if you want more in-depth answers or have any other questions for me, I'll send out another question thing on Sunday. So feel free to give me thoughts there. Also, feel free to DM me throughout the week. I'd be happy to talk with you. But I'm going to go ahead and pray us out. Dear Lord, I thank You for the opportunity to do this live stream, and everybody that's tuned in and that may tune in later, Lord. And I just pray that You bless the ears that hear this, and that every word that came out of my mouth brings glory to You. And Lord, If any of these words were my own and they are not glorifying to you, Father, I pray that they go in one ear and right out the other. Because the purpose of this is not to bring me fame, it is to bring you the glory, Lord. And I'm just so thankful to be your vessel and been given this opportunity. I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.